Good morning. We are here on Vet Day with Dr. Camper. So today we are doing an intake exam on new serval Thane. He's thought to be between 2 and 3 years old, and trying to stay quiet because he just went under anesthesia. And so we're not doing anything invasive right now, so we aren't wearing the masks or the gloves. We're just kind of doing this intake exam. The biggest thing we want to look for Thane, as you guys know, he was just rescued out of Michigan when the USDA and Department of Justice closed down a breeder that was using Thane for public interactions ever since he was a baby. So Thane is definitely very socialized to people. He reminds me a lot of Rocky the serval. And our biggest thing, as you guys know, is when we do intake exams on servals, we do full body radiographs. But also we were told from Thane's owner that he had a broken toe, and that we do know there's a little bit of issues there. There's some thickening for sure. We're gonna x-ray that whole foot and limb as well to see what's going on. He had some tail chewing and sucking when he arrived. We were told that he always does that he's a nervous cat. We haven't seen Thane be nervous at all, and we're so happy that the fur is growing back on his tail. He seems to be socialized, really excited to see people, loves the grass, loves kind of his natural quarantine area. And so we're also going to check to see if he's neutered today, run his blood work. We're going to do a full exam. We weighed him today, and I'm trying to remember, what was his weight? 26, what was it? 27.4 pounds. So he's in good shape, which we expected based on being a young cat. We don't know about the injury. We do know he lived next to the caracals at the facility, and so we don't know if his foot got caught, if he got bit by a neighbor or something. So we'll just check to make sure everything is healing well, and he'll get his vaccines as well. We'll send out blood work. And so part of the donations you guys helped us get for Tigerthon and so many other fundraisers allows us to do these rescues and allows us to do the intake exams, the annual exams, and then the 3-year wellness exams. We'll neuter him if he needs to be neutered today, but first they're wanting to look at the x-rays, measuring them everywhere, things like that. So I'll tell you a story. When I was first in the rescue industry, I thought caracals were amazing. Of course, I thought cougars were amazing, bobcats. I always thought servals were a little odd, and I didn't really think I had an affection towards servals. Of course, I loved them for being a cat and everything, but I will tell you, after rescuing and housing over 30 servals at the sanctuary, these guys are amazing, and I don't look at them as the cat of spare parts, which they're named after anymore. They are, each have their own personality, even if they're a little hissy and a little temperamental. But servals are, sadly, one of the most purchased pets next to, the hybrids. And so as beautiful as they are not pets. They deserve to be in Africa where they were tended to be, and we see so many here. Here at the sanctuary, we provide them, of course, indoor temperature controlled areas. And so we're not, don't have the temperatures of Africa, but you can see that Thane was living outdoors, wasn't he? Yes. He was outdoors in a lean-to in Michigan. And so I'm not sure, he might have had indoor access. We weren't there at that time, but from what we saw that day, he didn't. And so here at the sanctuary, he's going to have a heated temperature control building. We're hoping to merge him with other cats, but really, again, it's us getting to know Thane as we are now. He's been great with his neighbors, but we were told by the breeder that he didn't like other cats, but we don't necessarily know the circumstances for that. So Dr. Camper's kind of investigating that toe. We can see there's it's very thickened. We don't know if the nail was removed by the injury or if the nail's embedded somewhere due to the toe being crushed. So it's not information we received, so she'll do all the investigation here. And he'll get a nail trim today too. He's got some nice claws. Thane has quickly become a favorite here at the sanctuary. We really enjoy his little chirps, which is what serval Morocco used to have, who we nicknamed Rocky. So if you're just joining us today, we are doing our vet day here with Dr. Camper, and Anna's assisting today. Anna's our animal care manager. And Dr. Campbell's off at a veterinary conference. So also part of our intake protocol is we microchip every animal here, mostly just to make sure that if anything were to happen, that everyone's ID'd in a legal way, not just by us knowing each and every one. So you guys know we house many servals here at the sanctuary. Does everybody have a favorite serval? I'd love to hear. In Hinata, we already know Noonda's your favorite serval. But do I have a favorite serval right now? I mean, I would have to say they all are special. I love them all the same. But Bosco, being the oldest boy on the property and the most geriatric, definitely has my heart. But Thane is a close second here. So Bosco, somebody else said Bosco. Anybody else have a favorite? Bruno, of course. Bruno's a lot of people's favorite. Bruno's a pretty special serval too. Anybody else have any favorites? Why they set up X-ray? Well, I want to take this moment to, I see the peppers, chili. People are saying Bruno, another Bruno. Thank you all for tuning in today. I first wanted to say a super thanks for your support for Tiger-thon. They're still tallying everything. We hopefully have an update for you at the end of this week, but you guys really stepped up for us and for the cats, and we appreciate it so, so very much. So I can't just say thank you enough for all the help you've done to just, you tuned into the lives, which was amazing. You donated on the website. You donated on Facebook page. You called in and got to talk to Sally with your gift. All of that really, really adds up. So much so that Lynette has been so busy tallying things that is coming in the mail, came on PayPal, everything. And so that's why it's taking so long. So I'm forever, forever grateful for the amazing help you provide. So everything we do here, everything we show you on all the live posts here on Vet Day, you make happen. And we're just, every day I come to work and I am not only amazed by every cat here, amazed by every staff member and intern, but I'm amazed by all of our supporters. So we're going to be setting up X-rays, so I probably will step back and move away so that they're going to get some PPE on. But until that point, let's take a closer look at this little guy. So if you're just tuning in, we are here with Thane, who is one of our newest rescues. He, along with two caracals and Susie the fishing cat, were rescued out of Michigan after the USDA and the Department of Justice closed down even keel exotics. And so we were thankful that we were asked to take them in and provide a permanent home. They're going to know love and compassion the rest of their lives. We're very, very thankful that places like that are closed down so that no further wild animals are sold as pets or for profit. We are getting at the point that the number of calls coming in for small cats and even for the hybrids is to the point that all of us are at capacity. And until we curb the breeding of small wildcats and hybrids, I'm fearful of what the future holds for how many of these displaced cats and where they're going to go. We're doing our best to accommodate. We're working with Wildcat Ridge and even Cedar Hill to help with domestic Bengals and early generations. But just reaching out to sanctuaries over the last week, if they have small cat capacity, there's only one or two besides us that do. And so really education is key, and you guys help us spread that message. Help us teach people to keep the wild in their heart, not their home. And that, you know, the idea of owning an exotic cat is much more glamorous than the reality. They're expensive. They don't deserve to be confined to a home or a kennel. They don't often play well with other pets. They can be very territorial, aggressive when they become sexually mature. They also escape like Bruno did and Fiona did and so many others, and they pay the price of that. Many get hit by cars, many starve to death, or they get injured like Bruno, or they are almost near death like Fiona. And so it is not fair in any aspect for a wild animal or an early generation hybrid to be bred or kept in captivity as pets. So this intake exam is going to take some time because they want to do quite a few radiographs to see what that foot and everything looks like. And so we are probably going to sign off, but I'll definitely give you guys an update of what we find on those radiographs, on the limbs, on the feet, all that. And I'm just so happy that Thane's tail is growing back. And intake exams are important for so many reasons. As you guys know, we want a baseline of the animal because we want to make sure that their kidneys are good and healthy, that there isn't any other organ function issues. We also want to make sure we get our hands on them and we can see if there's any tumors or masses, things like that. Or even if we had got him now without knowing his broken toe when he had the cone on his head, we would need to get this close to see that there was a problem with that foot. And happening at just, 2 to 3 years old, that's going to be early onset arthritis in that foot based on the damage. And so we can help with medication, help with operant conditioning, things like that. And then spaying and neutering is something we're very, very in support of for the health of the animal. Because when we get cats that are older that haven't been spayed or haven't been neutered, we've seen a lot of females with pyometra. We've seen them with mammary cancer and tumors and things like that. And so not only do we not want them to breed with each other, we also want to make sure that they're healthy. So spaying and neutering, like Bob Barker says, is extremely, extremely important to an animal's health and to your pet's health. Well, we'll keep you updated on Mr. Thane here. I'm so glad. We'll have to show you some photos of his tail. If you go to the website under his page, it shows you what his tail looked like prior to coming. So we're happy to see that he is no longer plucking his tail. He's gotten activity outside in quarantine. So there are plans for them is we're going to wait. They have their 30-day quarantine, which will be almost up. And then we are preparing for possibly some neighbor-to-neighbor action to see who gets along. He might actually merge with caracals, or he might merge with servals, or he might live alone. That's going to be yet to be determined. So we'll keep you all posted on how this beautiful boy does here at the sanctuary. So we'll kind of walk over. So the nice thing about you guys helping us really put this hospital together when we put the animal care centers. We have digital x-ray. So once it's run through, Dr. Camper will be able to review it right here on site, determine if more images are needed, things like that, and to determine what the next steps are. So far he's walking on that foot well. It just is a lot flatter when he walks than the other foot. So we will keep you updated, and thank you for supporting us to help us rescue Thane, Mojave, Amira, and Sushi the fishing cat. Both Sushi and Amira will have intake exams in the near future.